Hello, welcome to our midweek devotion this first week of August. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. What a nice, pleasant week, as I don't think we'll have high temperatures. They're just right. I feel like every week I do a weather report, but it's because I sit here and I look right out my window. So here we go. We're continuing our discussion on what is truth. In our book here, Akalu, which is actually, as I've said before, part of a high school, Sunday school curriculum, kind of asking those big questions. What a perfect thing to ask those that are about ready to embark on their adulthood, their independence, and then also good questions for us. But we talk about what is truth. So, of course, we just kind of finished one section that's, what is truth? What does it mean to me? How's it in our life? We ask ourselves these questions. And now we take a deeper look. We ask the question, what's the difference between story truth and happening truth? Please remember, we're experiencing this firsthand together. That way, we have genuine reactions all the way around. So the truth can be a frustrating concept. Most people think that truth is a straightforward idea, that the difference between true and false is a clear-cut distinction. Truth being that which can be proven to be not false is enough for some who prefer to see the world in terms of cold facts and hard data. But the truth takes many forms, and not all of them rely on hard facts. In his book about the Vietnam War, author Tim O'Brien discusses story truth and happening truth. Story truth can exist in a fabricated narrative that helps the reader to identify with the true emotion and reality of the situation. Happening truth is contained in the hard facts of a given situation. Thus, story truth relies on the truth of emotion and understanding. Happening truth relies on the truth of facts and figures. Isn't that interesting? We have a story, that story truth, that focus, understanding things, the emotional part of it. And then what I think whenever we hear the word truth, what we kind of default to is what is described here as happening truth. Facts and figures. Interesting as we live in this still pandemic world, trying to figure out what is truth. Oh my goodness. Did I plan any of this? No. But see, relevant questions. Okay. The Bible tells the truth about faithful people throughout the ages. It tells us the truth about the life, death, and resurrection of Christ. A truth that Christians believe to have absolutely occurred. The Bible tells the truth about the truth, capital T. But how are Christians to distinguish between story truth and happening truth? And if both truths lead to the truth, does it really matter? A quote for us. Is it true? The answer matters. You'd feel cheated if it never happened. Without the grounding reality, it's just a trite bit of puffery. It is pure Hollywood. Yet even if it did happen, you know it can't be true. Because a true war story does not depend upon the kind of truth. Absolute occurrence is irrelevant. A thing may happen and be a total lie. Another thing may happen and be truer than the truth. From that author there, Tim O'Brien, author of this, The Things That Carried. And then another quote. The Bible is the truth about the truth. It is not the truth. A sermon taken from the Bible is the truth about the truth about the truth. But it is not the truth. There have been many books written about the things contained in the Bible. They are the truth about the truth about the truth about the truth. But they are not the truth. Only Jesus Christ is the truth. Sometimes the truth can be drowned in a multitude of words. So, we read that and it's a bit of a tongue tie, at least it was for me. We hear these things, a sermon takes the Bible, and it is the truth about the truth about the truth. So, those endings there, about the truth. Remember, we talked about what is truth, small t, and what is truth, capital T. Truth, capital T, as referenced here by Reverend Richard Wurmbrand, a Roman evangelical minister, imprisoned during communist rule. Capital T truth, this is Jesus Christ. This is the Word, not small w, but capital W, the Word, capital truth, capital Jesus Christ. Only Jesus Christ is the truth. And sometimes the truth, Christ, can be drowned in a multitude of words. So seeing it, that is, that's what comes up for me is, especially as, I sit here and I have my identity as a Lutheran, evangelical Lutheran, ELCA, and then also I identify as a Christian. I have this, in a sense, Lutheran identity. I have this identity. This is who I am. This is what I believe. Now, is this what I believed, 30 years ago? No. But see, that's kind of that, we can say it's that evolution, and in a pastoral way, I can sit here and say, oh, well, this is the baptismal journey as we just experience a bit of story truth, emotion in there, understanding of things, secular and otherwise. And how do we figure that out? There aren't facts and figures as you sit with a person that's dying and has professed to you that they believe God doesn't exist, yet in the midst of death, in the midst of these things, there's those intimate moments where you share this bit of faith. The Spirit at work. Now, some people would say, oh, no, that's just, they're in the throes of death and they're just scared, so they're saying things. Yeah, maybe, but then again, that's their story truth. Whereas my story truth would be like, this is, and I somewhat hesitate to use these words, this is that God moment, not only for this person that's dying, but for myself, to just, it's such a powerful and intimate connection there between the two of us, but then also I cannot deny through God what I believe to be Christ, the Spirit at work. I don't know if that quite made sense, but it's those moments where you just sit there and say, I've witnessed these things, I've tried to wrap my head around the understanding of these things, and as this author says, my story truth evolves. It changes, because what I believe as truth now has taken a different, somewhat of a different form. So I can't think of another word. It's just this faith evolution for me, and then story truth. I have so many stories that I could tell, which I won't do now, that are just like, these things happened, I witnessed this, and because of that, I can't find, I don't know if comfort's too strong of a word, but I cannot find comfort in taking what I would consider, well, not even a step backward, a step sideways to where I was before. I can't sit there and witness these things, see these understandings, discover these new levels of emotion, and then say, well, all of that doesn't mean anything, and I still believe, in a sense, that God doesn't exist, or there's some, I can't take that step. See, and I don't want to say it's a step backward. It's just, it's a step, It's not a step at all. There. Say. So I hope that made sense. So we think about these things as we enter into this discussion about continuing what is truth, but then moving into, as we think about story truth, and we think about what's the other one? Sorry. As we think about story truth and we think about happening truth, then how do we, as Christians, as Lutherans, as whatever, move forward in understanding the collection of books that we call the Bible? Because right here, what we talk about next week, why does the Bible tell different versions of the same story? I said that last week. Why are there two creation stories? Why are there three gospels that tell the same story, right? But in different ways. Luke can write. Mark, 16 chapters. And it was only in the last maybe 50 years that the ending changed. Wait, what? Did you know that? Didn't change. Things were added. For 1,000+ years, right? Almost 2,000 years. The ending of Mark 16, 1-8. And then we find more verses. And they're added. Is this blasphemy? Does this change the truth? Things to think about. So, some homework questions here. So we think about, and as we're going to move into that question of why are there different versions of the same story in the Bible, some things to think about. Does the Bible consist of happening truth, facts and figures? Does it have story truth? This emotions, this understanding. I want to say kind of this, back and forth. Or does it have both? If it has one, the other, or both, why is that important? How do you figure out which part of the Bible represents which kind of truth? Do we think of the Bible as a history book, a story book, or both? Why is that important? How do you figure out which parts of the Bible represent which style of writing? Interesting, deeper question there. I don't know if we'll get into that probably as I kind of peruse through some of these, but questions to think about. Let's close in prayer today. Good gracious God, there's so much going on in our lives, and yet there is this call from you for peace and rest and Sabbath. May we take the time today to hear this bit of your truth, capital T, that says, take time for ourselves, take time to rest and just be. And there, perhaps in the silence, we can once again find reconnection with you. The truth, capital T, of our truth. Amen. Till next week.